All right, the next matter we're going to address is People versus Natalie Welch. Miss Welch was charged with possession of meth.
And here we go. Buckle up. This case involves a 20-year-old with a cocktail of serious charges. Meth cocaine, fentanyl, and more. Not exactly a starter pack you want at that age. Let's see how this unfolds.
Possession of cocaine, possession of other controlled substances. She was arrested on November 2nd, 2024. Then the warrant got issued and she got arrested on April 14th, 2025. It was set for a felony charge, was reduced to a misdemeanor, pled the use of a controlled substance on April 29th.
Pause. Did you catch that? Felony charges reduced to a misdemeanor. That's a huge break. In legal terms, it means instead of facing potential years in prison, she's down to a lesser charge. But with that comes an expectation. Show up, comply, and take the court seriously.
She didn't. She was set for sentence today with a pre-SI interview on May 16th. That didn't go very well. She's not here this morning. I frankly didn't know what to do with her. We're talking fentanyl, heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, not trace amounts either. She's 20 years old, on the road to nowhere. And so I referred it to Mr. Frazine for some help.
Right. That line right there, road to nowhere, hits hard. The judge isn't sugarcoating it. At just 20, her choices are already steering her toward tragedy unless something changes fast.
I think he was just as frustrated as I was. And now she isn't here. You had any contact from her?
I told Dan she's called the office. Dan told me to call the office, and every time she called, I was either in court or I had just walked out the door. Like she called like late in the day, and so then I hadn't had no contact. She has a working phone number. We sent the notice by email and mail, so she got it two ways as to the date of sentencing.
Plus, I gave it to her in the courtroom.
Okay, so yeah.
Thank you, Major. Soon as you be here.
I don't know. This
Was she staying with her parents?
says she
Yeah,
was staying with
Nicole.
her parents in Poland.
Yeah.
Do we have like a number where you can call and she?
I have a phone number
There.
for her, Your Honor. Do you want me to write it down for you?
I've got
Oh, there
it. Here
she is.
Alright. Haven't arrived late.
She finally shows up. Question for you. When a defendant strolls and laid to their own sentencing, how do you think that sits with the judge? Spoiler, not well.
Alright.
Alright, yeah, it's possible we can get the car registered. That's today.
Yeah. We're gonna do a drug test today and see what we're dealing with.
She was unable to give a specimen, but she admitted to using marijuana and methamphetamine 2 days ago.
Alright, thanks. Alright, well let's then address the second.
Yikes. Imagine walking into court and basically saying, yeah, I was high this week. In sentencing hearings, honesty is usually better than lying. But this kind of honesty, it confirms exactly what the prosecution fears. Active use while on bond-in.
So the matter of People versus Natalie Nicole Welch. Miss Welch was stated, I think, before she got here, charged with possession of methamphetamine, cocaine, and possession of heroin, fentanyl. Heroin and fentanyl. 4 counts, was reduced to 1 count of use of a controlled substance. The matter was set for sentencing this morning. Daniel Frazine has been tasked with preparing the pre-sentence report. There was some trouble getting her in for the pre-sentence report. Um, we did finally get it done. Mr. Design shares many of the same frustration I do at figuring out what to do. Ms. Hines, what would you like me to know?
Your Honor, before we go forward, maybe, I'm asking the court to consider canceling her bond and having a drug test before we go forward based on her admissions of use and her admissions of continued use while on bond to Mr. Design. I have concerns that she might not be coherent and with us enough to do a sentencing today. I'm certainly willing to have her come back tomorrow or when the court is available, but this is
Fair enough.
pretty
When
significant
people-
reduction
when-
given.
When people come in with alcohol, I had a young man here recently, his blood alcohol level was 0.14, and we were about to do the sentence. We have a standard of how high is too high. And he was almost 1.5 times the legal limit. You can't proceed with the sentence when the defendant's intoxicated.
Great point here. Sentencing requires a defendant to be coherent and able to understand what's happening. If you're drunk high or otherwise impaired, the court presses pause. Think of it like signing a contract. You can't agree to terms if you're out of it.
So he canceled his bond, spent the night in jail, and we proceeded with the sentence. It's harder of a standard to know with these sorts of tests. We don't have a test. We have for admissions. So I don't know whether she's coherent today or not. She seems to be. She was 20 minutes late. I don't think it was her own fault. I think other people brought her. And so she's still struggling with. Frankly, I was more concerned about the fentanyl than I was the others, but I am very concerned about the meth as well. How old are you, Miss Welch?
20.
Yeah, so you're not even old enough to smoke marijuana yet. And so, Miss Hines, what's your thought?
Natalie did say she probably would test positive, so she was honest with me. I don't know what
Well,
to say. I think she's here. Her mom brought her here. We have a pretty detailed response investigation report, and she did indicate that she has started Celebrate Recovery, so but she needs some help. 20 years old. It's concerning that, like you said, Your Honor, she's pretty strong. Illegal substances that it will ruin her life.
Yes,
She doesn't get out control of it.
the struggle is between just letting her go over the waterfall or trying to intervene. She's 20. And these weren't trace amounts.
Powerful imagery over the waterfall. The judge is weighing whether to let her face the natural consequences of her addiction or throw her a lifeline. That's the tension at the heart of this case.
0.67 of meth, some 1 point some of 3.5, some other stuff, then cocaine, fentanyl. I forgot they were in there. Addicts don't forget they got user amounts of control signs. She doesn't know whether her boyfriend uses drugs or not. So I don't think she was really fun with it. So I'll cancel the bond. I can't get in my scheduling profile right now. Lauren, do you know what your schedule looks like this week?
Tomorrow I'm in Judge Patterson's courtroom at 9:30, and then I have a sentencing from 11:30 to 5 in Sturgis.
11:30 sentencing.
Divorce mediation.
Oh,
Sorry.
it just feels like it.
feels like it's Actually, that's right. Okay. So I will be in mediation.
How are you for Wednesday?
I have an adjudicatory trial. Yeah, that's set for all the way.
How are you for Thursday?
And some people in my office, but I can work around that, Your Honor. We can move people if I need to, so.
Laura, what do I have for Thursday? It wouldn't let me log in. First thing this morning, in my ongoing litany of technical problems, I still can't get the Kramer box to work for the Chavs recording. It wouldn't let me log into the AS400. So
I'm assuming you have, yeah, geez, my PC.
I have to go tomorrow.
I mean, I could be over here in the morning. I just thought that.
All right, why don't we set 10 o'clock?
That's,
So work for you.
I'm going to see if I'll be here. I would like to have a screen still shows.
Well,
Verify.
then there's some, we have to transport it to Three Rivers and somebody has to pay for it. We don't have a funding source to pay for it.
I mean, I think this is a matter of getting the urine sample. She's not able to right now. Maybe she could relax.
Okay, so you get a urine sample.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm around all afternoon too. I mean, I have,
We'll set it for
Judge
tomorrow.
Middleton, but other than that, I'm available this afternoon.
I guess I am interested with this, knowing whether there's any opioids in there as well. So we're gonna wait until we get this. Tomorrow at 10. Let's see what we got. No, I tried to call Chris because it won't be in the PS4. Thursday would have worked. All right, Miss Normal. We'll take it up tomorrow at 10 a.m. here in this courtroom. We're going to have a wait until she gives a sample. And we'll see really what is your deal on this.
Can they give her some water?
As a citizen, for water.
I'm concerned with that opioids in there as well. Well, we hadn't seen cocaine in a while, and it's starting to make a surge. All right, Miss Welch, you go back up. At some point, she's going to need to get lunch, so I'm not sure. We'll work with Autumn and see what we can do.
You want her to go to jail then?
Hold on to her for now, then we'll see what Autumn wants to do.
Bond cancellation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is Miss Welsh here? You heard the results?
I only
Positive for everything. Lori,
Lori.
your client was positive for methamphetamine, fentanyl, cocaine,
And there it is, the toxic bingo card. Positive for almost everything. Marijuana, meth, cocaine, fentanyl. It's like her system was running a chemistry lab.
something else. Marijuana.
Does Autumn have a test result or something?
No, one of the issues is simply tests. But her report back to the court was that she was positive.
So it's meth.
Methamphetamine, marijuana, fentanyl.
Does it show
Okay.
No, it doesn't. It's an instant test, so the levels would have been high. It's not a very discriminatory test.
Well, okay, watching the Yeah, concerns that she is detoxing. I did meet with her. They believe she's in her beginning stages, so she is a little fidgety,
Well, let's see.
anxious.
So, she's positive for opioids and methamphetamine. But if you wish to continue it, her family's here. We're going to return to the sentence we began yesterday. Versus Natalie Nicole Welch. Good morning, Ms. Welch. I'm here with your lawyer, Lori Hines. You pled guilty to a charge of use of a controlled substance. I referred the matter for a pre-sentence investigation, and Daniel Friesen prepared a pre-sentence report. Mr. Friesen's not available this morning because he has a family emergency. Called me first thing, but he stands by his report. Ms. Davis was here yesterday, and your lawyer, Ms. Hines. We asked to do a drug test, and you had represented that you weren't able to provide a specimen. You would be positive for methamphetamine and marijuana. Davis' position was, I would really like a test. So we waited. Actually, you waited through the lunch hour, and Autumn Keefe from our probation department did the test. That is the test. And you were positive for everything: methamphetamine, fentanyl, heroin, cocaine, and marijuana. 20 years old. Frankly, yeah. I understand you've been in custody overnight. You may be withdrawing some or all of these substances. How are you doing this morning?
No.
All right, so you want to proceed with the sentence?
Yeah.
All right. Ms. Hines, in light of everything that's transpired since yesterday, anything else you'd like to say?
No, I did meet Natalie. I told her what her test results were. I asked a question because I know the jail staff was concerned that she was starting to detox. So we had a discussion about health insurance and possible rehab, and she definitely needs some help. Jail time would only give her forced sobriety and not really work on issues, the underlying issues of why she continues to use. And it's my understanding from talking to another attorney that had her previously, this has been going on for about 5 years.
You're 20. Davis, you were astute in asking for a final test rather than just your representations. Anything else you wish to say there?
Your Honor, after the hearing yesterday and hearing what substances she was positive for, obviously concern was that she's on bond for what were felonies, reduced to a misdemeanor. At age 20, she has got an addiction that is so significant that she can come into courthouse with those substances in her system and still appear relatively, quote unquote, normal, speaking, walking, not passed out. I did inquire from an individual that knows her from school to see what's the background here. And I don't think that Natalie realizes how many people care about her and are pulling for her and want her to do well, and recognize that she had a very difficult upbringing, very difficult family situation, and perhaps that's not the healthiest place for her to be in order to be sober. With that in mind, I would ask the court to consider doing a period of 90 days jail up front, that she is able to get into an inpatient rehab facility.
This is called a shock sentence. Give someone a taste of jail time up front to shock them into realizing what's at stake. It's often paired with rehab, given the defendant structure and hopefully a fighting chance.
She'd be allowed to do that, but it would be as a term of this, so that she wouldn't be able to voluntarily sign out. And that upon completion of the 90 days or completion of that inpatient, she would then be on probation. It would request either 2 years based on the length of time that she has had these significant issues, and the fact while on bond she has immediately continued to use and hasn't been able to seek out the resources that can help her. So with that, I would ask the court take that into consideration. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, it's an absurd situation where the law, more of the criminal justice format, presumes everybody's going to be free on bond. There's a presumption that there's a PR, certainly a presumption of bond. We used to do drug testing at the Day Reporting Center. We had funding for it from the Community Corrections Grant. Now we just tell people that are addicted, don't use any drugs. And the point is almost everybody would test positive between the date of the pre-exam and the hearing because they're addicted to very powerfully addictive substances. You scare us, Ms. Wells, because there's so many things and you're so young. People don't die from methamphetamine overdoses. They decay over time, and we've certainly seen it. People die from fentanyl overdoses. You got other stuff in there, including cocaine, and some other marijuana, and perhaps other prescriptions. That's right. I talked to Mr. Faison on the phone this morning, and I think we're all on the same page. You need some sober time. We're going to try to see if we can find an inpatient treatment program for you as a condition of your probation. I can amend your jail sentence to let you into an inpatient program. And that's what Ms. Davis suggests. That's what Mr. Faison suggests. You need some forced clean time. So I would agree with Ms. Davis. You need 24 months.
That's the bottom line. Addiction doesn't. Take a polite break because you're in court. The judge knows that unless she's physically removed from access to drugs, there's no shot at recovery. Do you think this tough love approach is the right course? Should courts lean more on rehab first?
I'll follow her recommendation. I'm going to order 92 days credit to even 90 days certain. Fine is $0. There's a $75 crime victims right fee, $50 minimum fee, $150 attorney fee, and a $950 probation oversight. You don't have enough money, so this isn't so much about money. $12.35. No drugs and no alcohol. Testers directed. Also need other may be released to an inpatient treatment facility if they find it. So it could be as soon as one would be available, I suppose, but it'll be the kind of probation that Ms. Davis reflects. You can't just walk away from it. If we set you to a treatment program, it'll be a condition of the probation that you participate in. If you walk away, it will be a violation of your probation. It'll be back in jail. But right now, you're going to have a rough couple of days. All right, I don't know if she'll be in the jail for some time, potentially as long as 90 days minus good time, which is 75 days. But I'm envisioning between then, before then, maybe sooner rather than later, we're going to get you into the inpatient program. I don't know where you're getting these drugs. They weren't trace amounts. You had usable quantities of meth, cocaine, fentanyl, and maybe heroin. All right, I don't wish you any ill. I really don't. We've seen you before. You've been here for a long time. And I see what the toll of drugs do to a 20-year-old girl over a 20-year period. And it isn't pretty. You deserve better. So you're going to go to jail. You're going to be there for a while until they can find a place for you to go. Do you have any questions? I understand Autumn was hard on you yesterday back in the locker. I think she gave you some good advice. You deserve better than where you're in, so let's see where we can go. So you're free to go.